Hey guys, how's it going today? Davey Baby 2. I just want to talk about my recent trip to New Orleans, Louisiana. I was born and raised Lafayette, Louisiana. I don't think I've ever stepped foot on Bourbon Street. I think whenever I was like 10, I don't quite remember. I went to the French Quarter to meet with one of my mom's old friends that she hadn't had seen in a while. My experience with New Orleans up until last week had always been very spotty, very dodgy. To be quite frank, I wasn't really a big fan of New Orleans. Obviously, I got the New Orleans Saints jersey on. I'm from Louisiana. I love the New Orleans Saints, but I've never really been in New Orleans. My experience with New Orleans is always shoddy because I've had people from New Orleans move to Lafayette because they, job opportunity. Katrina got flooded out at the move over here. No big deal. Uh, One of my biggest beefs with New Orleans that I have as a Lafayette resident, or had, I would say, was two things. The battle between foods, the battle between Cajun cooking and Creole cooking. And also, the other thing was the people. Lafayette, Louisiana, we got that southern hospitality. We're South Louisiana. While New Orleans, it's kind of its own thing. Lafayette, Louisiana, we're South Louisiana. We're the greater Acadiana area. Everybody over here is really super duper motherfucking nice. Everybody over here just don't be rude to literally anybody at all. You are going to have an amazing time. You're going to be treated very kindly. I think the customer service in Lafayette, Louisiana, with both restaurants, gas stations, stores, is just equal throughout all fronts. We just have some of the friendliest fucking people on the face of the planet. Every time I would meet somebody from New Orleans, come into a store, and I mean, you can always tell by the area codes on their phone numbers because 99% of the time, 99% of the time, whenever you come into a store, any store, they're like, sign up with our rewards points. If you see the area code for New Orleans pop up, there's a couple of them. I think I could be wrong about that, but it's usually about the 504, right? But they're kind of fucking rude. Like people from New Orleans are kind of fucking rude. It wasn't until I went to New Orleans and I chatted with them. I've spent like 9, 10 hours on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, and then we even walked, Cafe Du Monde and all this shit. They're not rude. The people over there aren't rude. They're just straight up because they don't have time for bullshit. It's a really busy place. The streets are fucking small as shit, and they don't really like have time to be stopping and doing stuff. They have to go, go, go. So you can't sit there like in Lafayette, Louisiana. You could be if you're at a gas station, you don't have any customers, and you have a regular coming to your gas station. You're talking with that regular for about 15, 20 minutes, and they're gonna tell you how the past 6 months of their life have went. I love that about Lafayette, Louisiana. You're not doing that in New Orleans. I will say what I did notice in New Orleans: passing compliments go really far. If you walk up to somebody, walk near somebody, you kind of bump into them. They're not like fucking New Yorkers. They're like, hey, I'm fucking walking here. You bump into a New Orleans person, like, oh, shit, my bad. I'm like, oh, no problem, man. Like your shoes. Appreciate it, big dog. Keep walking. Go separate ways, just whatever. But yeah, you do anything like that in Lafayette, though, you're not getting into beef, but you are having. You're gonna all of a sudden be like, hey man, I ain't seen you in like 15 years because everybody in Lafayette knows fucking everybody. It includes the general Acadiana areas such as Deuce Scott, Broussard, Youngsville, the Iberia Parish, which is not Lafayette Parish, but it's still technically kind of Lafayette. I mean places like Franklin and Jennings even. I like South Acadiana. It goes super far, or just Acadiana, the greater Acadiana area. Everybody's just real friendly in the Acadiana area. I really like it. And yeah, I always thought that New Orleans people were kind of rude until I went to New Orleans. I was talking with bartenders, people on the street, even the homeless people, because I love talking with homeless people. And no, yeah, they're not rude. They're just fast paced. They don't have time to be dilly dallying. They have to fucking go. Wherever they're trying to go, they're trying to get there as fast as possible. So it's not about rudeness. It's just about I don't have time for chitter chatter. I have to go do these things. But if you get down there on the French Quarter, you get to Bourbon Street. That's whenever they're like, okay, I'm relaxing now. You talk with some of the locals, and they're like, yeah, hey, hi, cool, awesome. Pretty typical stuff. They're nice though. They're not rude. That was one of my biggest beefs with New Orleans. Is every time I'd see them in the Acadiana area, they're always kind of fucking assholes. But They're not. They're not assholes. They're just really fast paced. The other beef I had was Lafayette versus Creole cooking. I've been having this beef my whole life because New Orleans is one of the biggest tourist towns in Louisiana, in America, to be quite frank. One of the biggest, not the biggest, but one of the biggest. It's the biggest tourist town in Louisiana. It is the biggest, not one of the biggest. It's the biggest. But also, they're super popular for their food. Let me pop a velo real quick. There we go. Uh, their food, good, good. Uh, but it's not as good as Cajun food. I'm sorry, it's not as good as Cajun cooking. I fucking love Cajun food so goddamn much. Obviously, I grew up with it, but I also know we have more flavor, we have more spices, we got more salt, which I know is bad for you, and that's why a lot of people. We have a lot of processed food. I'm going to be honest. A lot of our food is processed. That's why, like, was it 25% of males over the age of 40 in the state of Louisiana die from colon cancer? Really fucked up statistic, but technically it's true. Our cooking is way better though, and I did go to New Orleans. I had a few bites to eat, and it was just okay. It was just okay. It was good. It was good. I was drunk as fuck at one point on Bourbon Street. I mean, I'm talking out of there, just out of this fucking world. I stopped at a place called Nola Po' Boys. Nola Po' Boys. At first, like I was thinking, like this has to be a tourist trap or some shit. My friend looked it up, checked the reviews, like 4,500 reviews, 4.6 stars. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's a tourist trap. The reviews sound good. I got a fried shrimp, 12-inch po' boy, and the fried shrimp were smothered in gumbo. It was smothered in gumbo. It was literally one of the most sodium filled foods I've ever had. It almost completely sobered me up. It was fucking insane how salty it was. Super good. One of the best po' boys I've ever had in my life. Still not the best. One of the best, definitely top three. I'm gonna be honest though, that gumbo, that was Creole gumbo on that po' boy, and that's what gets me. Everybody, and their fucking moms. Like, oh, I want to go to New Orleans try the gumbo. I want to go to New Orleans try the gumbo. Come to Lafayette for the gumbo. Take the fucking 2 hour drive. Come to Lafayette, Louisiana. Have our gumbo. Our gumbo is better. I think Cajun gumbo is genuinely better than Creole gumbo. I think Cajun red beans and rice is better than Creole red beans and rice. I think almost anything Cajun, possibly other than the po' boys. They kill it over there in New Orleans with the po' boys. Absolutely stellar. But any food that can be translated from New Orleans to Cajun, Cajun takes first place. I still don't think, after my trip, I don't think Creole food is bad. I think all the people that have cooked for me in Lafayette, Louisiana, that were like self-proclaimed Creole, Nola, Creole cooks. I think they were talking out of their ass. I don't think they know what they were doing because the food I had, that motherfucker Bon Creole, out in Nolan's ways, very good, very good, very good food. I still would not place it over Cajun food, but I quite liked it. Yeah, no, I had a really good time. A couple highlights from the New Orleans trip. Went to Cafe Du Monde. I could not care less. But my friends, one of them was from the West Coast, one was from way up north. Uh, yeah, they came down. They wanted to visit me. I'm like, cool beans. I'm great. You guys. I'm super glad you guys are coming. I need to hang out with some people that actually give a fuck about, other than like mom and dad and grandma and grandpa, whatever. Right? But I want some people I could sit down, drink with, and cuss with, and do some dumb shit. A couple of the highlights though: French Quarter, Cafe Du Monde. Good beignets. Good beignets. I've had better in Lafayette. Not to say that what necessarily. I don't know if Patriots can be Creole. Not 100% positive on that, but I will say I am positive that I have had better had better beignets in Lafayette than what Cafe Du Monde was offering. Not to say Cafe Du Monde had bad beignets; they were actually quite good. The coffee was good too. We had the We had the one with chicory in it, Cafe au lait or something like that. That was pretty good. I really like that. Uh, we go French Quarter. We walk around a bit. We get to see some of the just the historic streets. The architecture in New Orleans is absolutely beautiful. I thought it was very nice to look at. Um, then we kind of got to that point, where we sat there and we were like, I think it's time. I think it's time we go to Bourbon Street and we have our first real drink. The bars on Bourbon Street, undefeated. I have been to a healthy amount of bars in Lafayette, Louisiana. I went to downtown Lafayette before it was absolute hawk shit. Me and my friends came down for a Lafayette Cajun food trip. We had a single day in New Orleans. My friends came down, fucking 6 days, 2 days of traveling, 6 days of doing butt fuck all. And I think the bars used to be a lot better in downtown Lafayette. Lafayette, as it is right now, downtown Lafayette, horrible bar scene, horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't think I'm ever going back. They used to have this place called Marley's Sports Bar. Marley's used to be an actual sports bar. Like you go sit down, drinks, music, alcohol, good food, and there'd be like televisions all over the bar playing different types of sports. I walk in, this place is completely different because I haven't been there in like 10 fucking years or some shit. Go in, awful, awful, awful. I mean, I fucking hated it with all my heart. There was barely any TVs. There was two massive, like 96-inch TVs just playing ads back to back, like ads back to back. The music was so loud, like the DJ in the club that night. I don't think he knows what mixing and mastering is. The music wasn't even like good loud, it was bad loud. Like it was so loud, it was a ear piercing. $10 cover and $10 for a fucking soda water and like a shot and a half of Jameson. Hey man, we're all good here. We left. We went to. I don't remember where we went. I'd already had a couple drinks at that point because I pre-gamed. I think we went hang out with my dad in Lafayette, regular Lafayette, where my dad works. And over there where my dad works, they have alcohol. Quite nice, yes. Yeah, we went. We had some alcohol, and then we went to a little place in New Iberia, Louisiana called. I think it was called Break Room Sports Bar. I think it's called Break Room. Might be called Breakers, but I think it's called Break Room. Pool bar, super cool. Take a drink, too many drink, go home, too drunk, super fun. I loved it. Yeah, we had a hotel in Lafayette. We spent the night at my house instead because my house was closer. And yeah, no, it was a super fun night, super 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 duper fun. Fuck downtown Lafayette. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The bars in New Orleans, undefeated. New Orleans has one of the best nightlifes that I've ever seen in my entire life. I quite enjoyed it. And we went to the dungeon. That's one of my favorite YouTubers, Papa Meat. That's where he went. I just wanted to go. Papa Meat went there. And you know what? I heard it was a little zesty BDSM bar. I was like, I want to see a guy getting spanked. Maybe I don't know. We'll see how the night goes. I had a few drinks in me. One of the things I really liked about New Orleans and the bars is that a lot of the really chill bars had the pokies. If you don't know what the pokies are, it's just video poker games, where you just sit down, you put like $5 in the machine, and you click buttons on a screen, and you try to get like a half decent hand. You're not playing against anyone. You're not playing against a dealer. You're just trying to get some hand, three of a kind, two of a kind, two pairs, three pairs. If you get like they have different game modes from one I was playing. If you got like a queen flush, you win 50,000 credits, which if you put a $5 bill in and you're putting down like one sit bets, and you got 50,000, that's like a $500 payout. Super fucking cool. I quite like the pokies over there. Molly's was probably my favorite bar. It was small. There was no AC. They had fans blowing, which the fans blowing kind of reminded me of old cookouts where you sit down, like a Cajun crawfish boil, sitting down with a bunch of family members. You get done eating some crawfish. You go, oh man, I had 10 pounds of that shit. You got somewhere I could chill out? And you go into the carport and they just got fans blowing. And you're like, oh, oh, oh. You're doing like that, right? Is you're just fucking, you're just vibing. You got a fan blowing on you the whole time. Place had no AC, just had fans blowing. They had darts going. First time playing a legitimate game of darts in a very long time. I played it against my friend Christian. I won. It was a good time. Molly's had a really good vibe. It was an Irish bar. I quite liked it. Uh, and then the places in between, they were good. Like they were chill, but like it was fun. It was way better than the Lafayette scene. It was super fun. Bar crawling on Bourbon Street is just hassle free. You could just do that shit. You're like nobody's really getting in your way. You don't have to drive anywhere. Whereas in Lafayette, if you're not going to downtown, you don't have any bars to crawl. If you didn't want to drink and drive, you had to get a fucking Uber to each goddamn bar you wanted to go to in Lafayette. But in New Orleans way, you just go to the fucking bars, man. They're right next to each other. We had a really cool nightcap. I've always wanted to go to a drag show. On the way to Nola Po Boys, we came across a drag show. My eyes lit up. I was like, oh, I want to go in there though. We're getting food first, and we'll see what happens. I was like, okay. Go to the drag bar after Nola Po Boys. We did go. It was awesome, awesome, dude. Drag queens. They're artists. They're theatrical. They're showmen and women. Okay. They're putting on this spectacular, beautiful, amazing show. It was a 1,000% positive. This was a cisgendered woman in full drag, and she sung one of the most beautiful ballads that I'd ever heard in my entire fucking life. And oh my god, I was already out of my mind drunk, and I was sipping on a Surfside seltzer, which is really fitting for a gay bar. I was sipping on that. Oz, by the way, was the name of the bar. Really cool place. Drag shows banging on a Tuesday night, banging, playing music louder than anyone else on Bourbon Street. It was a super good time, and I really enjoyed myself. And I think, yeah, no, really cool bar scene. Like I said, highlights, Nola Po Boys, Oz, and Molly's. There were a few other places in between. Like I said, I don't remember. I wasn't blackout drunk, but whenever you're drunk, you're not like remembering addresses that you've never seen. We did see a place that was genuinely fucking disgusting. It was the name of the place was Barely Legal Strip Club. What the fuck is that all about? That's kind of gross. I didn't like that at all. Me and my friends made comments about it, and then we shot the business with a look of disgust, like, and then we walked away and we found some other place to go. But yeah, New Orleans, and in between all those bars and inside of those bars, I was talking with people, cracking jokes, having a good time, drinking. I was being very nice, spreading my Lafayette Southern hospitality with everybody. Yeah, I just had a really good time. No, yeah. So that was one of my big things. Is I always had beef with New Orleans because the people from New Orleans who came to Lafayette, they always seemed rude or a little bit bitter, and outside of like the bitterness a little bit. I've had Creole people come down and cook for me, whether it be a restaurant or at somebody's house. Not a super big fan of Creole cooking that I've had in life yet, but actually going to New Orleans and having their Creole cooking, bang, 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 that shit was pretty good. Still not as good as Cajun cooking, but quite good. But the people in New Orleans were friendly, the food was good, the bar crawling scene was a lot better than Lafayette. And I genuinely think that I would not go across the world to go to New Orleans. But if you live in the southern United States, or if you have the money, you live way far away, like you live in like Washington or New York or some shit. If you got the money, make the trip. New Orleans is super fun. I liked it a lot. I thought it was very enjoyable. But yeah, no, that was it. Beef squash for me. I no longer dislike New Orleans or New Orleans people or their food. I kind of like a lot of things about New Orleans now. And yeah, that was pretty much all my little highlights from that trip. I just thought it was genuinely very fun. But yeah, that's all I have to talk about today. New Orleans gets a solid 9.5 out of 10 rating for me as a one-day vacay. Me and my friends did talk about it, and we probably we they might make their ways back one day, maybe. more than likely, if I'm still living here, and we will go to New Orleans and probably spend like at least 2 or 3 days over there and actually attempt to explore way more because we had only went French. Oh, also Pontchartrain Bridge. What? Right dead center in the middle of the bridge. No land on the left, no land on the right, no land behind you, and no land in front except for that New Orleans skyline. I was like, fucking 20 feet below sea level, you know? You could just see like the tops of buildings. Very beautiful drive. Yeah, that was it. That was my trip to New Orleans and kind of what I thought about it. Like I said, New Orleans 9.5 out of 10 from me. Overall, I quite liked it as a 1 day vacay. But yeah, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe. Also, drop a comment if there are any places that I may or may not have missed out in New Orleans that you think I should visit next time I go. Also, leave a comment and let me know if you have been to Lafayette, Louisiana, had our Cajun cooking, and think whether or not it's better or not better than Creole cooking. Anyway, Davey Baby 2 here, signing off. I hope y'all have an amazing day, and stay safe, everybody. Love you. Bye. Mwah.